not a fan. Is that cold soup? Is that like chicken noodle soup? Is it soup?
It's chicken broth.
Oh.
Hey everyone, I'm Derrick Fox and you're watching A Bunch of Losers. Today, we have a repeat. Adrien from MasterChef is back. But today we talk about so many things. The restaurant business, the private chef world, food culture. We play some games, we do some taste testing. Let's go, loser. Yo, what's up, dude?
Chilling.
What's with the outfit?
I was inspired by you.
I love it.
I was like, how would I dress if I had an inner Derrick? And then also, you know what part of the joke was? Is because remember when we were hanging out before we shot the last season, and it was a group of us and we were all drinking, and you're like, why do you dress like an old man? And then I was
Did I say that?
yeah.
God, I was drunk. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I was,
sometimes my internal dialogue comes out.
But
it's like, don't say that out loud, Derrick.
It's okay. I riffed on you too. I don't think I'll repeat it because it was pretty funny too.
Oh, repeat it. No, I need to hear it.
I think I said we all can't shop at the kids section of Hot Topic or something like that. Well, and then I said to you, I am an old man. So yeah, I was like, well, I'm gonna come in and see Derrick. And I found some of this stuff is funny. It's a really cool story. Some of this stuff is my grandma's. Like,
dude, you're wearing vintage. Honestly, this is a great look on you.
I think she bought this. I don't know where. Look, it's got a little weed leaf on it. And then this stuff I wore at Burning Man.
See, I bet your grandma's cool.
Yeah.
And
got my nails did.
Where'd you get your nails done?
Sister.
Your sister?
Yeah. She said, what color do you want? And I said, all of them.
You 5?
And then she said, do you want them sparkly? I said, fuck yeah.
Yes.
And it's really weird. I've never painted my nails before.
Okay.
And
feels weird, right?
Well, it's like so she did this hand, and then when she started doing this hand and I had some wine, it didn't feel like my hand. Like when I went to grab the wine, I was like, whose hand is that?
Does it feel like your cuticles are sweating?
A little bit.
Yeah, I hate that feeling.
Yeah.
Like guys that don't paint their nails, it feels like your cuticles sweat. It's kind of weird. Man, I thought I was coming in hot with the red glasses.
And I went to the liquor store and I just didn't even think right, you know.
Oh God.
Oh yeah.
They thought you were homeless.
As I'm paying, you know. Okay. Yeah. So I haven't been anywhere else in public.
Okay.
I'm interested to see the reaction.
Do you have a new appreciation for my style?
Yeah. Just need a Tesla now.
Okay.
And I guessed right. I put the earring on this side because
you guessed wrong.
I knew I was going to sit on this side.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That used to be the gay ear.
Yeah, not anymore.
Back in the day.
In the 80s.
I usually wear 2, but I keep losing this one.
It was easy to do, too, because I used to have spacers when I was young.
Oh, so it's still...
It never healed over.
Fit right in.
Yeah.
Bro, I love this. This is the best. Can you please rock this style more?
Maybe I would have made it further if I dressed like this on MasterChef.
You know, in another universe, that's what happened.
I'm ready for...
I have tears coming out of my eyes. I'm laughing so hard. This is fucking great.
Let's take a shot.
Hold on. So let's slow down.
I'm on level 11. Let's go.
Yeah, you turn it up to 11. Fuck, I bought these. I forgot the Fox cups, for Fox's sake cups. It's okay. There's no room on the desk because we got a little game we're going to play today.
I brought some stuff for you to taste.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll get to that. I got a little bag over there.
I had to hide it.
Bro, how long have you been back here in LA now?
Officially June.
It was June when you came into town?
June of this year.
How's it been going?
At first a little slow, but it was good to ease on into it, you know what I mean? And like obviously super happy for the weather, although we had a ridiculously hot summer here, as you remember. And where I live, there's no AC, so we're just like sitting in the backyard, like, what do we do?
Oh, are you close to the coast?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It's even then though, the humidity.
I mean, that's the thing about coastal California. We don't have a AC in our place either.
Yeah.
But we didn't need it. I mean, that's the thing about the marina. The marina, the hottest it gets is like 84 degrees.
Yeah.
when the valley's like 116, it's 84. Anyway, not here to talk about the weather.
Yeah. But the rest of the time being back has been chill. Getting into work, working with you.
Yep.
Working with some other chefs, hopping into LA. I gotta say so obviously done the private chef thing for a little bit here. I started a little bit right after the show in 2011 in Montecito, Santa Barbara. Couple gigs here and there, but none much. More obviously in Dallas. But what I will say from doing all these gigs with you and the other chefs, it's a little like Entourage, like a little like that LA thing. You go into these houses and the names that are there and the names that are thrown around and just the shit you hear them say and do. It's fucking funny.
It's wild. Okay, so what's funny? Give me an example.
Well, the other day we had Chong at your dinner.
Yep.
Right.
Got to cook for Tommy Chong.
So here's an interesting story. I obviously can't drop the names. I did this for Thanksgiving. And it's the daughter of someone particularly famous, a celebrity chef.
Okay.
She's also.
Did you sign an NDA?
Yeah, I did not, but
Okay, so then you could talk about it. That's their fault.
Well, yeah, I don't want to say names. And it was interesting walking in. Her friend had showed up and just dropped me like, "Oh, I just got this new gig." He was a stylist. Throwing in, he's like, "I just got Jamie Foxx. I just got this and that." Da da da. And they just proceeded to party. I don't think they ate much. I think there was a little booger sugar in the bathroom.
I gotcha.
And then at the end, they offered me mushroom candy.
Hell yeah. Did you take some?
No.
I was just going to say today, wearing these glasses is like being on mushrooms.
Yeah. I can imagine driving around. You're like, everything is crazy.
Dude, driving with these is terrible.
Yeah.
The traffic lights are all the same color. You're like, wait, is that the top one or the green doesn't look green. The red the red's not there. It just looks like the light's off.
Yeah. Well, good thing you had the Tesla to tell you.
Yeah, but when it tells you, it's also colored on the screen. So it still doesn't, the glasses still don't work. Anyway, that's the hard part about a lot of the LA parties is you'll make all this food. They want all this extravagant food and then they're partying. They don't eat it. But it's like a status thing. It's like, we got a chef.
Yeah.
He put out this bomb ass food. And then some people will eat it. And then those people are like, fuck yeah, this is dope. Right. But.
And then talk to you in the kitchen for a long time.
Oh, when they make their way back. That's what I love about the house that I work at.
Oh, that little kitchen you got in the back is dope.
Small but mighty.
Away from everything. You probably don't get bothered too much.
Yeah, then, not at all.
Yeah, and then you're ready, you just take it out.
Yeah. My client won't like my clients, when their kids are in town, they'll come back and hang out with me, which is funny. They're like, they have the whole house. They got ping pong. They got the swimming pool. They got everything. And they just come back and they just pour tequila and hang out and drink while I cook.
You said kids. I thought your little kids are having tequila with you?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, they're our age. The kids are our age. Oh, my gosh. Okay, well, Michael's the only one I've drank with on the podcast. And boy, did we spill some tea.
And you're breaking your booze.
I broke a few days ago. I broke at our gig.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to stop today, but I was actually going to work out after this because you were going to work. So I was like, we're not drinking, but now I guess we are.
And
I'm still going to try and work out.
I'm still going to go to work.
Yeah.
Gonna have to wear gloves. Do you wear gloves with these things? Make sure you don't get paint chip?
I get the gels so they don't chip.
Okay. She did put, I think the sparkly stuff was a gel. So.
Yeah, but did you go under a heat lamp?
They brought a blow dryer out.
Interesting. That's
do what you can.
God. Now I realize never mind, I'm not going to say it.
Cheers.
Cheers, brother. I'm not shooting this. I'm going to sip it.
Oh, you said that as I was shooting it. Yeah. So, I wonder if you have some tea questions, but there's something I wanted to start off with and tell you.
Some tea questions?
Well, you said spill the tea.
Oh, gotcha.
We're going to talk some ish, as we used to say back in the day. Food influencers on social media.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something I really hate?
Oh, yeah. Tell me what you hate.
I hate when they slap the meat. And then I hate when they cook it and then they squeeze all the juices out.
Oh, that pisses me off.
And then they throw their knife at the board.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, there's one character that throws the knife at the board. It's kind of cool. He made it a thing.
I don't like it. I want them to know if they watch this. Stop it.
Stop. That's his whole thing.
Yeah.
He even brings people in and they throw the knife at the board.
It makes me mad for some reason.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're stupid.
Does it make you mad, or is there a little bit of jealousy that so many people like it and you're like, damn it, I could have thrown the knife at the board?
Not jealousy, but yes, that thought does. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I just got to get a brisket and smack it around a little bit.
Yeah, I don't like the slapping of the meat thing either. It's really weird. It's like
they hold it
it's
and they're
not,
like,
but it comes off very misogynistic, right?
Yeah. Just very sexual, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I get the food porn thing, but also,
Wait, what food? What do you mean food porn?
Well, I think Bourdain was probably the one that might have thrown that term out, right?
Really?
Maybe I'm reaching there. I don't know, but that's kind of what I remember. But I think, it started off as like just images of food, right? Or like a runny egg yolk or something like that. But now it's like, let me slap my meat and squeeze it.
For me, food porn was always like something very spectacular with food. Whatever, like if it was a fancy plate, like that was food porn to me.
Right. But now it's gone.
Yeah, and there was at one point, it was the most hashtagged hashtag on Instagram. It was for a minute. Speaking of people and their meat, did you see Salt Bae got banned from the World Cup?
Oh my
Future
God,
World
he
Cups?
got dissed by Messi, right? Like,
dude, did you see
he's
the
like
footage?
grabbing his arm.
He was grabbing everybody's arm. There's even a photo with him with Elon, and he's also you can see he's grabbing Elon's arm to pull him in for the photo. It was like the most awkward thing. Like
Cringe.
I never liked the guy because there was always something about him. There was, maybe he was wearing the glasses inside or like we're doing right now. I don't know what it was. There was something about him that was always so cringe. And then seeing him outside of the restaurant try to carry that persona and like be like the big dog and like everyone knows me, this is cool, I can come down on the field and fucking.
Why was he even there down on the?
Well, isn't he Argentinian?
Is he?
I think so.
But how did he just paid someone like, hey, let me in, I'll get you some steak or what?
No, I mean, I think he probably paid for like really good seats and probably got down. Like, it's not hard to get down on the field. When one right person, you can get down on the field. But it's your etiquette when you're down there. You don't fucking act like an idiot like that. It was so cringe. And then like him like taking the trophy out of the player's hands and posing with it.
That was weird.
Like, dude, you're not. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm glad that I've never gone to Salt Bae's restaurant, and after seeing the way he acted there, never go into Salt Bae's restaurant.
I would never go unless someone paid. That's the only way
I would go if someone was like, "This is where we're going," and they were fronting the bill.
Yeah,
I'm with you on that. I'll never turn down that meal.
Because I'm curious. I hear the cheeseburger's pretty good at the spot in Dallas.
I would just talk people into going somewhere else. There's better places.
Oh, wait. Yeah.
You and I can both cook a steak better than fucking Salt Bae.
The gold thing. I don't get the gold thing either.
Me neither. Okay, so let's talk about the gold thing. Because a lot of places put gold on it, and I've contemplated doing a limited edition gold cookie. Because it's a way, I mean, one, like, it's kind of silly to eat it. I mean, you can eat it. I mean, fuck, back in the 80s and 90s, people were drinking it in their Goldschlager.
Yeah.
But it's a way to like put a shock value menu item on your menu.
Instagrammable.
And it's Instagrammable. Is there profit there, or are you just like hiking up the price to cover the cost of the gold? It's kind of crazy, but I mean, but that's the thing. Like some people, when they go out, like when you get that kind of money, you're just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
It's a status thing.
Yeah.
It's like, I can do that.
Yeah.
And,
I think it's stupid. Also, stop it. Stop with the gold.
Stop with the gold. I think gold is cool, like if it's a tiny little bit. Like when you get when you go to a really fancy like omakase and they do like the wagyu and a little caviar and a little flake of gold, that's cool. It's a little
or
sparkle.
Dessert pastries. It's a little
sparkle on the chocolate.
Fucking cheeseburger, it just. And also, people don't realize that shit is hard to put
It's fucking hard to put on.
It ends up on your fingers. It ends up on everywhere. And then you're wasting a bunch of it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's dumb.
Fuck the gold.
Fuck the gold. Okay, so you've been out here since June.
Yeah.
You've worked with me.
Yeah.
I've got you some gigs. You worked with Johnny. Johnny's got you some gigs.
Mm-hmm.
What's the goal?
I want to land the white whale. You know, I want to land that one client.
Okay. Do you care where that client is, whether it's Dallas or LA or New York? Like, are you willing to go wherever?
At this point, I would prefer California.
Okay.
But money talks.
For sure.
If they're going to pay me very well, I'll go to fucking Alaska. What do you want? You know, that's what I'll do.
What city would you not cook in?
Oh, good question. I would probably hate to go.
Like major cities. Obviously, no one's, booking a private chef and like.
It's funny. I've never been to this city, so a goal of mine is to go to every major city in every state, and I've been doing pretty good. But I hate to do this to you because I know this is where you're from. I don't like Florida. I don't like the idea of Miami. I haven't even been, so I'm sorry.
Oh, you haven't been to Miami?
No, but
Miami's the only good thing about Florida.
That's what yeah. But even then, like, I don't know, something about I don't know what it is. I need to go. Maybe we should go together, and you can show me around. But so
we might not make it out alive. It'll be like Hangover number 4.
Yeah. Well, see, because I flew into Florida once.
Okay.
Fort Lauderdale. It was after the show with someone that I was helping them move to California.
Who?
Again, dropping names here, but
God damn it.
Helping them move to California.
Wait, who moved from Florida to California?
Well, you can do a little Google research, but we were driving.
It had to have been a girl.
Of course. And then only reason I would go to Florida at this point, really. And or Miami, with you. But
bro, there's so many women in Miami.
Yeah. I mean,
the girls in Miami are wild.
I could see that. I don't know. Maybe it was just, like I said, the experience. So we drove from there to New Orleans. But for the half of the trip, we're driving up the state and then cutting left, right?
Yeah, driving through Florida sucks.
It was like nothing, swamplands, Everglades, whatever, and then strip malls, and then like a bunch of billboards telling you not to get abortions.
Oh, wow.
That's what I would saw for hours.
Yeah, so that's what I said. So you were just outside of Miami. You were 20 minutes from a good time. Yeah, Florida's wild. I mean, I can shit on my hometown. It's God's waiting room. People just go there to die. And then there's people that never make it out. And then there's really great people. But there's just restaurants and shopping. Florida is just one giant resort for the snowbirds that can't handle the cold weather anymore, which is understandable. They got to go somewhere. Yeah. So they need to go to a place where they can eat and shop.
It's gotten really a lot of wealth has accumulated there. I noticed on the job boards for private chefs, there's a lot of Florida gigs.
Yeah. So if you would have made it into Miami or Brickell, you'd have seen some money. There's some money there.
Yeah.
But there's some tax rules in Florida. That's why there's a lot of shady people there. Like if you get arrested for tax fraud or gambling, anything illegal, they can't take your home. You can keep your home. There's other states you can lose everything.
Okay.
So that's why a lot of shady people live in Florida. You'll notice a lot of referees for
basketball
and football and baseball. The referees all have homes in Florida.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there's a lot of that. But here's the thing about Miami. Miami has culture. Now, Miami's culture has changed a lot over the years. I think Miami's heyday was late 80s, early 90s was probably the best.
Mm-hmm.
When I was 15, 16 years old. In fact, I'll tell you a funny story. 16, got my driver's license.
Going to Miami.
Well, if I just wanted to wrap the story up that quick, yeah.
Okay, keep going.
I got my third car. My first car was a 1956 Buick Special.
Okay.
Blue and white interior. Fuck, thing was so dope. But it was cursed like Christine, so I got rid of it.
Aww.
Second car was a pink box truck.
Okay.
That had pocket doors. It was bigger than a mail truck, but smaller than a UPS truck. 2-tone pink. I put my band name on the side of it. I fucking just black shag carpeted all the seats and the steering wheel. The fucking thing was a pimp mobile. It
Sounds like something you would shoot porn in.
Yeah, probably. I probably would have made more money doing that. I should have done that, but I wasn't old enough. Okay, so I had that thing. That we burned the engine up trying to drive to Gainesville to go record an album. That's a whole nother story. Third car.
Mm-hmm.
My grandpa gave me a Geo Metro, 3 cylinders.
I remember the Geo Metro.
3 cylinders,
Yeah.
2-door blue Geo Metro.
Yeah, looks like a little Tic Tac.
Dude, gas was $1.97. I could fill this thing up for $6. Fill the whole thing up for $6. So my buddy and I, my best friend John, he and I would go skimboarding at the beach all the time. So it's summer vacation. I got 2 younger brothers. I would always have to babysit.
Yeah.
But we got to the point where they could kind of take care of themselves. I would tell Dusty, yo, my middle brother, when he got to a certain age, I was like, Dusty, I'll give you $20. Watch Dalton. I'm going to the beach. Wouldn't tell mom or dad because mom and dad are relying on me. Anyway, so I'd pay my brothers off and went down to my buddy John's. I was like, yo, let's go skimboard, but let's go to Miami.
Oh, shit.
And he was like, hell yeah. We're like, we need to find some money. We had no money. We had no jobs. Yeah. We literally dug through the couches and found enough change in his fucking house. We found $15 in change. We're like, we can eat McDonald's.
In a couch?
Well, he had a big house.
So multiple couches.
His dad was well off. Oh. We dug through, like, we got, first he had a change jar. We started with that, and then we ended up with like $15. Yeah. $15.
Yeah, back then that was a lot.
Dude, I sound like I'm talking like from the 60s, but no, this was early 2000s.
Yeah.
This was 2003. I was like, okay, we got $15. We can eat McDonald's and we can fucking fill up the car.
Mm-hmm.
We did $6. This Geo Metro into Miami and back. That's like 300 miles from where we were. Round trip. We get to Miami. My dad calls. Your brothers are fighting. You need to get home. I'm like, Dad, I'm at the beach. He's like, okay, well, get home. I'm like, I'm at the beach. I couldn't tell him I was at Miami. I was in Miami. We had a blast. We didn't know South Beach was like a topless beach, so we were skimboarding with the view of just tits everywhere.
Yeah, and at 16,
at 16, we were losing our minds. Yeah. We were like trying to hold it together, just fucking skimboarding with hard-ons. And then so we have the best time, and we drive back, and we were like, that was awesome. 2 weeks later, my parents are like, let's go to South Beach for a vacation. Like, great, cool. So I'm in the car with my parents, and for those that do know Miami, there's a part where you're coming off of Alligator Alley and the highways start getting windy. Like all of a sudden, it's like you're on a straight path and then it gets really windy, and you got to know exactly which exit because there's like so many exits really close together. My parents are about to take the wrong exit, and I'm just like biting my lip, and I'm like, you got to turn here. And they're like, what? And I was like, turn here. And they turn, and they're like, how did you know? And I was like, I've been here before. No. I had to turn myself in to make the right turn.
Did you take them to the topless beach?
Yeah, all of South Beach is topless, dude.
All of it?
All of it.
Okay, let's go to Miami.
See? So
now we sound like perverts.
Yeah, I mean, for as long as man is around, free tits are free tits, man.
Can't argue with that.
Right?
What city would you not like to cook in? Major city. Like if you had to live there.
Well, I'll tell you this. The basketball player that I was cooking for during COVID, there was talks in the house that he was going to get traded. And so I was getting prepared for that. And this was before I met the client I have now. Luckily, I met the client I have now. And I didn't have to deal with this, but he was talking about all these cities: New York, Miami, San Francisco, Chicago. I mean, like almost every team was on the bill, like every big team, because he's an amazing player. And everyone that he listed, I was cool with. He even said Indiana for a minute, and I was like, oh, it'll be different, but I'll give it a whirl.
No, I want to check out India. I have not been there,
but
living there though.
He landed in DC, and I was like, I'm fucking glad I didn't go there because I've been to DC. That's one place. I mean, I know there's a food scene. Like Jose Andres has multiple restaurants there, which I would love to know why Jose Andres picked DC out of all the places. That one that confuses me sometimes. But I've been to DC and I hated it.
Well, you're not far though, right? Like they have a good transit system to get where. I mean, like that's the thing about the East Coast. I remember driving through there. You drive a few hours and you're in another state.
Yeah, yeah.
So all your days off, you could have gone exploring.
No. I mean, in Dallas, it's like I can get on a plane and go anywhere in a couple hours too.
True.
Yeah. So I don't know. One day I want to end up in Austin.
Dude, Austin, I tell people when people like, ask me about Texas that have never been, and I tell them hands down, Austin is my favorite city there. And they get mad, obviously, right? Because I think most people say that. But, and let me ask you this too. So when I'm there, because there's how many, 4 or 5 major cities, right? There's Dallas, San Antonio, El Paso, Austin, Houston, right? And I've been in all those cities in Texas, and what's funny is they all think they're the shit. Like even Fort Worth and Dallas, right? It's like Fort Worth is better than Dallas.
I haven't even gone over to Fort Worth yet.
But what's funny is they all collectively shit on Houston. They're all like, Houston's the worst, though. We're the best city, but Houston's the worst.
But they will tell you that Houston has the best food.
Yes.
Which is weird because I went down to Houston, and Houston's massive.
Yeah, very spread out.
Very spread out, but big. Like I feel like I don't know how Houston's not considered bigger than LA, because it felt like it was bigger than LA.
Yeah, I could see that.
But it's got weird stuff. You can just like a house you can just turn into a restaurant. Like you'd be driving down the street and it's like there's a house, and then it looks like a house, but it's a convenience store.
Yeah.
There's no zoning.
Yeah.
So it's like that's really weird. But I think that's good for people that want to have their own business, because then you don't have to jump through all those hoops. But
it's the most diverse city in the country too. I didn't know that.
Houston is?
Yeah, that's why you have all that amazing food. So there's like the combination of the Southern style with Vietnamese.
It's more diverse than LA?
Yeah. So that surprised me too.
Wow.
In Texas, yeah.
Wow.
I know. Like there's a place I want to check out. I've been told it's like an Indian market, but they, a lot of the cooks in the back are Mexican. So they do this crossover food of like, Indian ingredients and flavors with Mexican ingredients and flavors.
Don't get me started on that. I get so mad when people talk about like fucking immigration and the border and all this shit, and it's like every restaurant, like everywhere you go out to eat, like first of all, the food gets to the restaurant because
a lot of ingredients, produce, right? Because like
all of it,
depending on the weather, if it's not from California or parts of Arizona, I mean, I know there's like micro areas, little farms and whatnot. But sometimes that shit's not in season. That comes from Mexico.
But not even that. But also when it's farmed here, it's Mexicans farming it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like
South Americans, Central Americans. Yeah.
Yeah. It's but it's like, so then it's like, then I get to the you get the people that are like cultural appropriation with like food. Like if a white guy cooks Chinese, or if, somebody that's not Italian is cooking Italian. But then all those people that are fighting that stupid argument have never worked in a kitchen, because all the cuisine's getting cooked by Mexicans.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. That's another thing Bourdain said. He's like, I think he's like, I never had better French food than some guy from like Central America or Mexico or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
They make the best French food.
Well, I remember this. He was talking about, there's a Central American country that was, I think, governed by the French for a little bit. So they were heavy on French cuisine. And so he said that if you wanted to have a good French restaurant, you needed to get cooks from that country.
Yeah.
And it makes sense, because you get the work ethic, but then you also get the history of the food. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, when you talk about food and cultural appropriation, that's one of my favorite topics.
Let's dish.
Well, because it's like, so my background before I got into food when I was going to school is philosophy, right?
Okay.
And so my mind's just inquisitive and just questions things. And so with that, at first, at the beginning, I remember thinking, if someone would make something and it's slightly veered off a certain way, like with specifically, let's say Mexican food. And I'd be like, that's not Mexican. But then, just the more I've traveled and the more I've thought, and like Mexico has as much regionality as here, right? Like, there's Southern cooking, Northeast cooking, Northwest cooking, Southwest, Midwest, and the different styles. And so Mexico's like that too. So I only really know like the kind of food where my family's from, right? So I really can't say that this is not that way or whatever. Like flour tortillas, I was against that for the longest time, but that's a northern Mexico thing.
Really?
And
it's not an American thing.
Not an American thing. No, it's
okay,
not.
Good. I love flour
basically
tortillas.
Like when the Europeans, Spaniards brought flour over, or like, the biggest thing, Mexican beer. Mexican beer is made by German immigrants that came to Mexico and were like,
Right.
we miss beer. And,
Right.
like stuff like that. Or tacos al pastor, right? People like, it's the most famous taco, but that is influenced from the Middle East, right? The shawarma.
Right.
That's where that comes. The fish taco, from what I hear, rumors, that comes from when sushi got big in the 80s and 90s, right?
Okay.
And a lot of Japanese immigrants went down to Baja and opened up sushi restaurants and then tempura. And then the cooks were like, oh, thanks for showing us tempura. We're going to
Put
make
it on our taco.
staff meal and make a fish taco. So it's funny how, so when I started seeing that, I thought, okay, very few things are actually original or indigenous and contemporary Mexican cuisine. You go back, like, obviously to like prior to the Europeans and Spaniards coming over, then things like mole, right? Or
Okay.
something I came across called pack, which is like kind of like a hummus, basically like ground up pumpkin seeds and charred tomatoes and tomatillos and onions and cilantro. It's really good.
Mm.
So once I started to kind of learn these different things, I started to relax my personal opinions about cultural appropriation. And I thought, okay, the only way, truly, authentic, this word authentic, I think we have to be careful with when you open up a place or you're doing something. The only true authentic Mexican food, in my opinion, is it has to be Mexican ingredients in Mexico, made by a Mexican, person, born there, citizen, nationalized something, someone who's dead. That is authentic Mexican cuisine.
Yes.
Once it comes here, it changes, and there's nothing wrong with that. It changes, it evolves, you adapt.
Right. Well, I don't think there should. I definitely agree with you about authenticity, but I also and on top of that, I also think that like we should never be offended by another person wanting to
learn about the culture,
cook the cuisine, and also start a business with that cuisine. I mean, that's like, in my opinion, that's the most praise, that another person from another country loves your cuisine so much that they want to make that their living.
Yeah.
Like that's huge.
Yeah.
That means that culture is being recognized. You're not taking from it. You're recognizing it and sharing it with the world. It's food. We all got to eat. Like, we're going to eat lunch, and then guess what? In 4 hours, 5 hours, we're going to be like, where are we going for dinner?
Yeah.
It's like, it's not like you're taking it and holding it and keeping it from the world.
There's a way to do it with respect and honor. So you look at like Rick Bayless. Rick Bayless is like one of the originators of fine dining Mexican cuisine in the United States.
Okay.
And it's funny because from Graham Elliott, we learned that they called him the Ned Flanders in Chicago because he's just so nice and so sweet. I got to stage in his place. And that guy, he dedicates his life to spending time in Mexico, going to these, he will like, okay, I'm going to go to this region. I'm going to go to this pueblo. I'm going to spend this time. I'm going to master this.
Yeah.
And then he brings it back and he gives the respect and the honor to it, right?
Right.
Or Andy Richter, I think, remember he did Pok Pok up in Portland, and it was
Okay.
Thai cuisine.
Well, and Andrew Zimmern, same. Like there's no more well-traveled like food person in the world, and he wants to do a Chinese restaurant, and he's opened it, and like people were giving him shit, and I'm like, there's not a better dude.
Yeah.
Like, just because of the way he looks, like he's immersed himself in more cultures around this world than other than Bourdain, like anybody. Who else?
Yeah.
So I think like it's good that they're doing that and sharing that, and but
I think it's just, as long as, like I said, as long as you give the respect and the props. I think where people get upset is if there's a taqueria somewhere in some part of LA and it's bomb. but maybe it's in a, and it's very affordable, and it's in a certain neighborhood maybe you don't want to go to or whatever. And then, but you like their food and you take those ideas or that kind of style, and then you do it, like say on the west side somewhere nice, or you know what I mean? And then you charge, instead of, a few dollars or whatever it is per taco, then you're charging,
Well, you have to charge more because the rent's more.
Of course. But when you do that though, and you don't give, the respect, I learned this from here, or I got this from there. Like,
sure, but how do you do your concept? Like, what I'm getting at is, like, for the person that's the tourist just walking by, sometimes it's just going to look like a taco joint.
Right.
Like, whoever's cooking that day, it's like, I have a cookie store now, and I have literally spent maybe 6 hours in the cookie store.
Mm-hmm.
I have employees there. I mean, they have anyone buying a cookie from there. The only way they taste how much love is in the cookie, or how much love goes into that store, is if they bite into the cookie, because that's where I'm putting. And I did, I put a lot of time into developing the cookie, but like, same thing. If like someone opens a taco shop on the west side, and it's all like fancy, because that's what you have to do on the west side. You have to make it look good.
Sure.
But how do you know, as just a random person walking by, if the owner or the chef that created it put in the time? How do you know?
Yeah. You did. Well, and see, there's ways to do it. Like I said, I think someone like Andy Richter or Rick Bayless, I think the way that they present themselves, the way that they present their restaurants and their cuisine, and the way they also, who they employ, how they uplift them, how they treat them, how they pay them, those are ways that you can, be like, look, I love, and also just their love of it. They're not like, oh, I wanted to open this because it's a cash cow. It's like, no, I love this food.
Right.
I love this culture. I love these people.
Right.
And I want to.
But also, isn't that kind of like the American way, though? On some things, it's like, we're a capitalist society, and it's like, if it's a cash cow, we got to do it to make the cash because we want to live.
Of course, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, that happens too.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's our culture. It's like,
that's
fucking
the American way.
Fucking make the money, man.
Yeah.
And the way now, it's like, as fast as people get upset, they forget next week because they're upset about something else. And what I'm learning is all the people that are upset about anything are just not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
They're not out there like putting something on the line. The minute you put something on the line, your perspective about everything changes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, since owning this cookie for the last year and a half, like opening a store, understanding how important every sale is, like, I'm like, I have to sell this many cookies to pay for the person ringing up the cookies.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my cost. So I can be out in the world doing other things, or testing new cookies, or also keeping my clients happy, or taking my dog to the vet. I got to have a person at that store. So I need to sell this many cookies. So when I hit that number every day, I'm like, man, I love those people. Like, they made my day possible.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when you have that connection with your business, then you start thinking of everyone's small business, and it becomes way more important than the big fucking corporation, right? But also, like I mean, when you look at like how big Trader Joe's is, but that started as a small one grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how did it get so big? That's the part I'm starting to get fascinated with. Like, how do you go from being the small business to the big business?
Mm.
Like, everyone shits on the big business, but it's like, how did they get there?
Yeah.
That's not easy.
Well, and when it's bigger business, it functions better, right? Like, because it
doesn't.
Yeah. Like, well, what's one thing that you think that's big that doesn't function well? It's like a big, everywhere kind of food concept.
Well, like, for instance, I think, what can I say? Like Whole Foods in Texas.
Mm-hmm. It's not as good as here.
Well, it's not, but more so, it doesn't function the same. There's so many people working in the store. The store's so big. I mean, like the Texas Whole Foods, the one off Park, like close to Lovers, Parkway, whatever, Park Haven. That Whole Foods is massive.
Yeah.
Everyone working in there works for Amazon.
Yep.
So you can't ask them for any help. So the help in grocery stores, I remember, I mean, at least even just 6 years ago, it's changed. I could go into a grocery store and ask a question and someone would know where to go. So Central Market, they have a person almost on every aisle there to help you. And I love Central Market.
Yeah.
And yeah, I might pay a little bit more money to shop there, but they're doing the bigger business better. Like I have made friends with the people that work at that grocery store, and they know where everything is. There's this one lady that I've become friends with, and literally I can ask her anything.
Is it this sweet little old lady you introduced me to?
Yeah.
She still knows my name.
Yeah.
I'll go travel there. I'll have a gig. I'll walk around. She'll be like, "Hey, Adrien, can I help you find something?" I'm like, whoa.
I go out of my way to go to that grocery store because of the way she is. People like business. I think more than ever, businesses need to focus on the customer interaction.
Oh, yeah.
We've gotten so digital that, like, I mean, I went to the mall the other day because I was like, I don't want to look at the screen. I want to look at what I'm getting in real life, like in front of me.
Tangible. You want to touch it.
So anyway, I think that, I mean, there was another situation. I went to the grocery store one day. I don't know. It was late. There was like 2 cashiers working, and there was a lot of people. There was a long line, and there was also a lot of people checking out the self-checkout. And I didn't have much, and the lady, like, I was kind of hangry, so like my response wasn't very nice, but she was like, "You can go to the self-checkout." I was like, "Yeah, I don't work here though." But it's like, if we all go to that, in no time, she's not gonna have a job.
Yeah.
Like, the people that are lining up in her line are giving her value.
Right.
Yeah. That's what, like, I want to set the stuff up. She rings it up. Because I saw a funny meme the other day. It was all about, like, self-checkout, and it was like, I forgot to ring up the crab legs, but that's what happens when you had me working at your grocery store instead of an employee.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. I like the self-checkout when, like, I'm really in a hurry and there's no one in the way. But, like, other than that, I'm like,
well, for minimal things too. Like, it's hard when you go through there and you're like waiting and there's someone with a giant cart and they're like, beep.
Right. But, like,
beep.
When people are coming out of high school and they need to get that job with that social interaction to gain some perspective, like, working a register makes you a better person because you see the assholes out there and you're like, I don't want to be like that guy. But when you take all that out, we're just gardening assholes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Influencers.
I know, but
have you heard that that's like the #1 job when you ask young people? Like, I mean, you read stuff, so I don't know where these polls are taken, or how many kids they're talking to, but the thing I read was like, yeah, it's like when you ask them, what do you want to do? Most of them are like, #1, influencer.
I hate being an influencer.
What do you think about
food? I hate food videos.
Well, what do you think about the ones that go and they're like, hey, I have, however many K followers. I'd like to come to your restaurant and review it. And, maybe you can send some things out for free or comp it or what, you're going to get so many people that are going to come. What do you think of that?
It doesn't translate to anything.
Yeah.
Restaurants should not do that. Restaurants should tell them no.
Yeah.
And in fact, like, I went to a restaurant the other day and they messed up, right? They messed up. And we had a whole conversation and I was like, look, like, I'll tell the whole story. I was trying to get somewhere quick, but I wasn't in a rush.
Yeah.
I wasn't like rushing. I was like, I got time for 30 minutes, pop into this restaurant, grab a bite, and get on my way. I order a Nashville chicken sandwich. What is a Nashville chicken sandwich to you?
Fried chicken with some spices in it and nice and like savory and hot and spicy.
And it's covered in sauce.
Yeah.
The chicken's covered in sauce.
Or yeah, like rolled in like a chili oil or something. Yeah.
It's rolled in a hot sauce.
Yeah.
So on the menu, they had chicken sandwich and Nashville chicken sandwich. And I was like, I'll take the Nashville chicken sandwich. Sandwich comes out. There's no sauce on it. I'm like, no big deal. It's like, hey, you got some Cholula? They're like, yeah. I was like, I ordered the Nashville and it didn't come with the sauce. She goes, oh, it's just the breading. I was like, no, they're both fried chicken sandwiches. I was like, a Nashville chicken sandwich is about the sauce.
Yeah.
And she just like proceeded to argue with me. And I was like, okay, you want to, okay. I was like, it's okay. I dropped it. Like some hot sauce would be great. She gives me the Cholula. I bite into the thing. The fucking bun is so stale. It's like rock hard. It like, you know when you get a bun and it's like,
yeah.
And you're like, especially when it's a brioche bun.
Yeah,
like,
it starts crumbling. And
and so I called her over and I was like, no. I knew by the way she argued with me about the hot sauce. I was like, I'm not even gonna ask her about this.
Yeah.
I saw the manager. He's in a suit. I just called him over. And I was like, I just waved him over. I was like, hey, it doesn't need to be a big deal. I was like, you can even take it back and just switch the bun. I was like, but your buns are stale. I was like, so you might want to check all the others. I was like, and I need a new bun. He goes, oh, no problem. He's like, I'll make you a new one. He's like, do you want to just enjoy the salad? And I was like, perfect. That was exactly the exchange it needed to be. That was it.
Yeah.
So he goes back. He tells the cooks. The server went over to do her investigating. And then she comes back. She goes, oh, he must have just over toasted it. And I was like, no. I was like, it was stale.
Yeah. Well, at that point, she doesn't need to say anything.
She doesn't need to say anything,
yeah,
right?
It's remedy.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, it's a brioche bun. It's not, if you over toast it, it doesn't do that. If you actually over toast a brioche bun, it gets soggy. It's all butter.
Yeah.
I was like, it's stale. And she's like, no, he over toasted it. And I was like, okay. And then all of a sudden, this other server comes over, and he goes, they're refiring you a sandwich. It'll be out soon. He was like, sorry, they over toasted it. I was like, who are you? I was like, no. I was like, I already told the manager. I was like, this doesn't need to be a thing. I was like, can you guys please stop coming to me and talking to me about this sandwich? I already let the guy in the suit
ask,
know.
Did you do something to them? They must have.
No, it was so wild. It was just because I was the only one sitting at the bar.
Okay.
And I don't know. It was weird. So he goes, oh, well, I'm a manager too. I was like, well, are you a manager right now? He goes, no, I'm serving. I was like, okay, I already told the manager. I was like, this doesn't need to be a thing. I was like, stop making, I was like, please.
Yeah.
He goes, okay. He's like, it's all good. And he walks away. And then she turns around. She's at the POS. She turns around. She goes, just so you know, I'm a chef. And it was just over toasted. And I looked at her and I was like, oh, you're a chef? She has no idea what I do. She has I have not told anyone anything. Like literally everything I've told you is all I have said. And I go, oh, well, right now you're not. You're a server. I got pissed at this point. I was like, well, right now you're not. You're a server. And I was like, and that bun was stale. And then I flagged the manager over and I was like, I want out of here. This has become uncomfortable. Everyone's staring at me. I was like, I let you know, and then everyone proceeded to come talk to me about this fucking bun. I was like, I want out of here. I was like, ring me up. He's like, I'm not going to charge you. I was like, I don't want anything free. I was like, I sat here. I was like, I drank the drink. I ate the salad. Ring me up. And he goes, I'm not going to charge you. And he's like, and here's $20 for next time. I was like, I don't want a discount. I want you guys to do it right. I was like, do you want to have the conversation about everything that went wrong? And he's like, yeah. And so I told him, I was like, fix that. I was like, that's what's important. I don't need a handout.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to come to a restaurant and eat for free. Like, I work hard for my money. I understand where people work hard. They're working hard. They should get paid. The restaurant should make the money. I don't want the free. Yeah. I want you guys to do it right. I was so mad at this dude.
What did he say to that?
He was like, he's like, I get it. He goes, but I'm not charging you for a bad experience. I was like, okay. I was like, fine. If you're not going to charge me, fine. I was like, but here's, and I even put $10 down on the counter. I was like, this is for the server for serving me. I was like, she was doing her job. I'm tipping. I'm not leaving. I'm not the asshole here.
Yeah.
You guys are. I didn't say that, but that's how I was putting it. I was like, I'm not the asshole.
That's what the $10 bill said.
Yeah. Here you go. I'm never coming back. But I'm like, people like, when she was like, I'm a chef, I'm like, no, you're not. I was like, just because you went to culinary school doesn't make you a chef. Mm-hmm. I was like, I've seen people come out of culinary school that can't fucking cut an avocado. Like, I was so mad. I was like, why am I in this fucking Twilight Zone right now?
That was strange. And that was strange for her to throw that at you. Like, why does she feel, she didn't eat, if she wasn't the one cooking it either, why does she feel compelled to be like, I'm a chef, he toasted it too much? Like, what? Just, take care of it. It's fine. It's done. Go walk away.
I already told him. Like, that's the other thing. A lot of servers, like, they feel like they got to be on top. Dude, when I was a server, like, I just gave everybody room. I'd watch their eyes from far away. I could tell the minute they needed something, like, their eyes would look different.
Read the room.
Read the fucking room.
Your story reminded me. I was in the car with Chef Johnny, and he got a call because he gets calls from chefs like, "Hey,
all the time.
Do you need hands? Whatever." So culinary student, he calls. He's like, "Hey, I just graduated from culinary school, and I did my internship, and follow you on Instagram. Blah blah blah. I'd love to work with you." And what's funny, so I had even offered Johnny before when you introduced me. When I hit him up, when we exchanged information, I was like, "Hey, man, like if you need me to come in and work for free, right? Because this is what we do. You stage, you get to know someone, and you offer that sometimes." And I remember telling Johnny, "Hey, if you need me to come in, I'll work for free. Give me a day. You can see my style. You can see if you like working with me, whatever." This kid, so Johnny tells him that, like, "I'd like you to come in, work with me for a day, like a stage." The kid stops him, interrupts him on the phone. This is over the speaking. We're driving, and the kid's like, "No. I've already done my internship." So I start like I'm not saying anything. And so it just reminded me that there is something about people that come out of either culinary school or they put on a chef coat. They think they're a chef. I don't know what it's like, dude, you're paying your dues never stops.
Yeah.
When you're in this world.
Never.
Yeah. Just that attitude was so ridiculous to me.
That is ridiculous.
Time for another shot?
I just finished that one. It took that long.
Well, you can pour me one.
Bro, I love your style.
Thank you.
I dig this. You got like the California style hat. You gotta dress like this more often. I'm telling you. You'll get more chicks.
Take me shopping.
You know how to do it. Look, you did it. You got to fix the shoes though.
What? You don't like these?
No, I like them, but those are for like. Why am I getting a new cup?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Drunk already.
Probably.
So one thing while you pour me that shot. So you love Elon Musk. This is not an Elon thing, but more of a tech thing. You were talking about automation and all that kind of stuff.
Let me set the record straight. I don't love Elon Musk.
He's your daddy.
Daddy Elon. I should get a shirt made that says that. That would be funny. I really, like, for instance, last week between work and the cookie, I put in 135 hours in 1 week.
Yeah.
And I saw what I accomplished. I saw what I did. And then 2 weeks prior, I watched the BBC documentary about Elon. It was a 3-part documentary, and it was interviewing all people around him. It wasn't interviewing him. It was everyone that's in his life. They even interviewed ex-girlfriends and ex-wives that could have fucking trashed him. And they interviewed his dad, he doesn't talk with, and obviously his mom, and then a lot of people that he's worked with over the years, and people that he's started successful businesses with, people from PayPal. I mean, there's so many people. And all of them, they all admired his genuine work ethic and his true love for humanity and wanting to push humanity further. And I think it takes a special kind of person to really care about humanity, because you deal with enough assholes like at the fucking restaurant that just want to tell you they're a chef when they're not. Mm-hmm. You deal with enough of those people, you become jaded. It's real easy to become jaded and just be selfish and be like, fuck people, like, I'm just going to do me. I only got 30 years left on this planet, whatever. And I think he has the ability to look at humanity differently, and he's putting it into play. I mean, like, everyone has the ability to be great at something and be successful at it. And, like, for instance, like, for the people that are really good at engineering that become engineers, they become really successful engineers. And people that are really good at baseball and pursue baseball become great baseball players. And you got to find what you're good at, and you can do that. Like, food found me, and like, I'm good enough at it that I can do it really well. And I gave up all the other things that I really wanted to do. Like, when I grew up wanting to play baseball, which I did at a high level, grew up playing drums and wanted to be a fucking rock star. And I mean, I've played some big ass fucking concerts. I gave that shit up because this was calling me. And it's like, Elon's smart. He electric cars called him, and he positioned himself with PayPal to take he literally took all that money and put it into Tesla, and was one day away from being fucking bankrupt, and pushed and just kept pushing, just didn't give up. I like the don't give up mentality. Like, that's, I mean, I have it tattooed on my back, you know, like not giving up is what I admire, because that's when you lose, you know, like. And so with him, I just really admire that he doesn't give up. And then like, people are so upset about him over at Twitter, and they're like, Tesla's failing because of it, and the stock has dropped tremendously. I mean, I've lost a lot of, I mean, I haven't lost it because I haven't sold any of my shares, but like, I've watched that account drop tens of thousands of dollars, tons of money. And but I'm not giving up on Tesla, because here's the thing. All these people are like freaking out about him over at Twitter and saying Tesla's like failing because of it, but Tesla's quote unquote a well-oiled machine. Like, they don't need Elon over there. You think a guy like Elon doesn't have the best people in play at Tesla? Like, you think he walks away and then Tesla fails? Like, no, he's not stupid. This right now, everything that's happening with Elon and the stock and Tesla and Twitter and all of it is just a weird social reaction and like a social pile on. Like, people right now with like cancel culture, people love to pile on. They got nothing else to do. If everyone was out there like hustling like you, hustling like me, or the people that we surround ourselves with, you see Johnny? Yeah. You think Johnny's bitching about Elon? He doesn't fucking care. Yeah. He drives a Tesla. He also drives a badass Corvette. Like, that's what it, like, when you're busy and you're hustling, you don't give a shit. But these people that are piling on, they're bored. They're just bored. And they need to stop and take a look at themselves and go, why am I mad at Elon? Because he has done nothing but try to make things better for everybody. I mean, that's all he does every day. Like,
you love him.
The car that I just got a car, a brand new fucking Tesla. Why, he's been at Twitter, and it's better than the last Tesla I had. This thing's fucking amazing.
Oh my God.
I love it.
You need a Elon Musk tattoo.
I know, because I don't care. I don't care who runs Tesla. Tesla's running itself, and eventually robots will fucking run it.
What do you think? And I want to go back to the robot thing, because that's the original
I want
point.
a robot.
What do you think about him? All the stuff you're saying about him, but then he, deleting journalists and stuff on Twitter.
I've been too busy. Honestly, the last couple of weeks, I've been too busy to even follow like why he took these people down. But he also reinstated them. He did a poll, and everyone jumped on, and he reinstated them. And then someone wrote, the only people that should have access to the polls should be verified Twitter accounts. And I agree with that too, because it's like, there's so many bots that can jump in these polls. And I know about bots, and I'll tell you why I know about bots.
Tell me about bots.
I'll tell you. So when I was in my band Later Days, we were crushing it in the MySpace days. We were top unsigned band on MySpace. And our hometown 99X, Jeff Zito and Garrett were hosting the fucking 99X Jingle Ball. It was at our local arena. I think this arena holds like 16,000, maybe 15,000 people. This was a big deal. They were going to let a local band open the show. It was based off votes. You had to go on the 99X website and vote for the band. And there was like, it was a round robin thing. It was like, started with like 20 bands, and they got down to 10, and they got down to 5, and they got down to 3, and they got down to 2. We were in the top 2, and there was this other band in Fort Lauderdale, and this band in Fort Lauderdale had no MySpace following. They had like 10 followers on MySpace. They had no Facebook. They had no fans.
No real presence.
No presence at all. And we had never heard of them. And they were getting, their votes just kept going up and going up. Well, my guitar player, fucking super computer nerd, like built his own computer. Like he goes, they're running a bot. He goes, I can run the same thing. I was like, how do you know? He's like, because he's like, they're consistently going up. He's like, it's not dipping, and they have no presence, so it has to be a bot. No one's voting for these guys.
Mm-hmm.
And 99X didn't understand it. 99X just thought this band was getting a shit ton of votes. He goes, I can do the same thing. He goes, and we can smash it. We just need more computers. Well, my bass player's dad had like a real estate office that had like 25 computers in it. And my guitar player wrote the program, wrote the bot. He fucking coded this thing out, and we went and put it on every computer. We put it on our computers. We put it on our parents' computers. We put it on probably 55 computers. In 3 days, we had like 1.5 million votes. We just, all of a sudden, ours just blew up. They canceled it. They were like, no bands get to play. They canceled us, and we were pissed because up to the point where it was just us two, we actually did it off of actual votes from our fans, our MySpace, our following. And then this other band was like winning, and no one knew them, and so they wouldn't even understand. Anyway, but we did it with bots. We made a bot. It was so easy, and so like I understand where Elon's like, yo, Twitter's full of bots. Like that's the other thing. I don't understand.
And that wasn't that his intention too? It was like, oh, I'm gonna take over. I'm gonna get rid of all the bots.
Well, okay. People are like upset that he goes in and lays off a bunch of people, but when you go in and you look at these files where like they're literally suppressing information, like government leaks and all this shit, like when you have a whole staff that's like, we have to hide this stuff from the public because there's an election, I would fire all those fucking people too.
But I think a report he released the public information, I think, from what I remember.
He did.
And there was no documentation of any like real suppression.
No, there was a lot. There was a lot.
We'll have to revisit to Google, because I swear I just read that.
Dude, it's so much. I mean, there's so much, but they were thinking that he was releasing it to like protect Trump, and he wasn't. He doesn't care. And there was a lot of shit on Trump's side. There was a lot of shit on Biden's side. There was so much foul play between both sides, and Twitter and emails coming in saying, please suppress this, please take this down.
So that was one of the only thing that they and again that they made public was that the Biden administration didn't want nude pictures of Hunter Biden or the son to be made public. That was like the biggest thing that they asked for in the emails.
There was others, because this was like a 300 fucking post thread. Like it was insane. I don't know, maybe not that much, but it was a lot. And I couldn't read it all, but it was, as I was going through, it was emails asking Twitter to pull things down and suppress things. And it was like, and yeah, so if I'm buying Twitter and I go in and I follow these emails and I'm like, you did this, and we have like Elon doesn't have a conversation. He goes, you're out. I don't trust you now. And that's as quick as it needs to be. I mean, no one works harder than this guy. He fucking sleeps on the floor of the buildings. He put beds into Twitter, and he goes, anyone that wants to work as hard as me, here's a bed. Like that, in my opinion, that's fucking awesome. You're risking everything, and he does. But you go into Twitter and you're like, you guys are all fraudulent. I'm getting rid of you. Okay, boom, there's that. Then you go onto Twitter and you do polls, and then you react, you follow them. Great. Awesome. But also, I even noticed today they put the view counter on, because I only got 10,000 followers on Twitter. Like, big deal. That was from MasterChef the first time. Second time around, 0 new followers on Twitter from MasterChef. The social people that watch MasterChef don't care about Twitter this time.
Right.
But the views, I get 1 like, 2 likes a post, but then the view counter came up. Thousands of people are fucking reading my tweets. I'm like, holy shit.
So I haven't been on Twitter in a while, though, but are they looking at it because it's kind of like the For You page thing?
It's getting better. Twitter is like...
So like your shit is just public. It just comes up. It's like you're scrolling,
Yeah. If you follow the people, it comes up.
What if I don't follow you, would you still come up in a feed?
If someone shares my shit that you follow.
Okay.
So if someone shares my stuff, like retweets, and you follow that person, it'll come up in your feed. Like, so sometimes like I'll follow somebody and they'll retweet something like pretty graphic, and I'm like, oh shit, why is this on my page?
Yeah.
I don't follow that person, but I follow the person that retweeted it. So that can happen, which is kind of weird. But anyway, What were you asking?
You want to have Elon Musk's babies, I think.
No. I just think he's dope. I think
What I was gonna ask, so the tech thing that you said was really interesting. This is a prediction I have, and I want to get your opinion on it. I've been talking to other chefs about it, other culinary friends. I think in the not too distant future, our kind of, because they're talking about like a creative economy is kind of where we're going with all this AI, right? And I think with the advent of the AI and how it's blown up with 3D printers and that, I think most food production is going to be done by
automated.
It's going to be automated, and then so really good meals made by that's going to be the thing. It's like, oh, we went to a restaurant where an actual human chef cooked our food.
So I'm with you. I've been saying this for a decade, like literally a decade.
First time I saw a 3D printer, I was like, that's it.
Art is going to be the last thing. Everything else will get automated, and which it should. I think we should get to a point where everything's automated, and then we can all just like live. We don't have to we'll live so much longer, not having to stress, just I don't know.
Healthier, more fulfilled lives.
Yeah. But the arts will be the last thing that we control. And my view with food is from an artistic point of view. Yes, I cook for my client every day to nurture them, and I cook them healthy food. But even when they ask for it simple, I still make it look pretty. I still put
some soul into it. Put some heart into it. Yeah.
Because I think that's what's gonna last. That's gonna be the last thing. And yeah, people will do that. They'll go, we want to hire this chef because of this is how he does it, and a robot can't do that. And an AI can mimic you after you do it. An AI could learn how you do it and then do that. But then when you put that extra spin, AI has to follow you. AI can't.
Yeah.
I don't think AI will ever be able to create from the soul, because it doesn't have a soul, obviously. So that's it. But I don't know, those fucking, did you do the AI
I want to fuck with it. I hear some cool shit. I hear
But did you do that AI, the Lenza thing where you
oh no, not that
upload 30 photos and then it does AI paintings of you?
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking cool.
It looked dope.
But it's taking all,
but then it owns it, right? Is in the thing.
I don't care. As long as we have a phone, they fucking own everything. Who are we fighting with? What are they doing with it?
Yeah.
If my fucking face pops up on a billboard in the Philippines will be stoked. What do you do? You want to play your game first or my game first?
Let's see yours first.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to, mine's, I got some interesting snacks for you.
Clearly mine's going to suck.
It looks, I'm scared that you got from last time, that there's a bottle of fish sauce, a bottle of hot sauce. And you're laughing because I'm guessing one of those things is in there.
I didn't get either of those. I'm laughing because I'm like, damn it, that would have been funny.
Yeah. No, so it's the strategy is sipping. I'm in little sips.
No, fucking take a swig.
Okay, I'm ready.
You can do it.
How do you want me to do this? What do you want me to do?
I'm gonna have you close your eyes for a minute while I set it up, because there's nothing in there, and then I think based off of where your camera is, I'll have you hold it.
Okay.
You're gonna have to hold it steady, and then you can just go one at a time, because the camera is gonna be able to see what's in there. So okay, give me a second. I gotta take stupid glasses.
You want me to leave the room?
No. Just take your glasses off and close your eyes, so I know your glasses are off. For those of you that are just listening, we're setting up. I saw this on TikTok.
Okay.
Your eyes are covered.
Yeah.
Okay. I saw this on TikTok. You got a little box here, and I got 4 straws. I made this in 5 seconds while leaving the house. Here's the first one. Oh, that gives a little bit away. Oh yes, this one's gonna be delicious.
All the packaging is interesting,
right? Because you can hear it, but you can't see it.
But I can't. Yeah, it's like
this one's either gonna be second or third, depending on which way you go. This is my new game for everybody. That one opened really nicely. We are almost ready. Now you just have to hold this steady so you don't spill it.
Okay.
So we're actually gonna play 2 games. We're gonna do this, and then after, I watched the whole Pepsi documentary, like Pepsi owes him a jet.
Yeah.
Which was fascinating. So we're gonna do the Pepsi challenge.
Oh, Pepsi or Coke?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. You can uncover your eyes.
Okay. I gotta put my cool sunglasses
back on.
Okay. So I move this a little bit.
However,
Okay. Gentle.
I'll reposition this.
There we go. Okay. Okay.
And then you'll just have to lift. You have to lift the whole box when you're ready. Hold on, I gotta get a picture of this. This is great.
All right.
Hold on.
I'm gonna go with yellow first. Do I need to push these down anymore? We're good?
They're all in there. Hold on, let me get a photo of this. Your fucking nails.
Yeah, put those in there on purpose, baby.
This should be good. Okay.
Okay, going yellow first. Ready?
Going yellow first.
Coconut.
Yeah. Yep. Coconut water.
Okay.
Coconut. I just wanted to see, like, if you can't see it, like, how do you think about it? What do you think about it?
Red.
Hold on, you gotta put your cup down. There you go.
Oh, it's one of those energy drinks. Is it Red Bull?
Yep.
Oh, not a fan. Is that cold soup? Is that like chicken noodle soup? Is it soup?
It's chicken broth.
Oh, yeah. Same. I got. What's funny is I took 2 small sips of that one. I felt comfortable. I'm like,
took a big gulp.
I got this. All right, let me move just slightly for this real quick. That's alcohol. Is that a White Claw? What's that?
No, go again.
I'm still tasting chicken broth.
Last time you could taste color. Do you know what color that is?
Pink. Is it pink?
No.
I can't put my finger. It's a canned alcoholic beverage, fruity flavor. Am I close?
Yeah.
I can't. I don't know.
It's Chardonnay.
Chardonnay. The chicken broth.
Don't blame the chicken broth.
Yeah.
Most people that drink chicken broth drink Chardonnay.
Yeah.
Dude, the chicken broth was amazing. That was fucking phenomenal.
Cougar juice.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I don't drink. Do you know I don't drink Chardonnay? You know, like on Sideways when he goes, I'm not drinking any fucking Merlot. I don't drink Chardonnay.
Yeah, I don't drink Pinot Grigio.
Oh, look at you. Fancy. Okay, are you ready for your game?
Today's game was brought to you by Swanson Chicken Broth. When you need a sufficient source of vitamins, but you're on the go, shake it up, drink it with a straw. I don't know. That's my
Thank you.
fake advertisement for today.
Thank you for your plug.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to A Bunch of Losers with me, Derrick Fox. Please comment below if you guys have questions for any of these guests. I'm sure they would love to answer, and I'll answer as well. So let me know below. Also, you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, and then also make sure you're following us on Instagram, A Bunch of Losers with Derrick Fox, so you get the update on the new episodes. We will be launching them weekly. All right. Thanks, losers.
Action.